So my Genesis collection is inspired by dancehall culture. It's all about how I see the culture and how I represent that culture through my art. It basically just functions as a way to for me to literally just capture the culture as I see it. To be honest with you, like growing up, I never really listened dancehall like that. And it was a couple of years ago that I kind of discovered it as a Jamaican. And then it just nice. Dancehall just nice. Everything, all of the song, them, the whole culture, everything. And it's really just me distilling that in art. Plus, I also noticed that there was a kind of a space for that. Usually when you hear about the culture, you'd probably see like a documentary, see like a dance or whatever, but not art, you know? So it's a way to just wrap all of that into one. In terms of the augmented reality aspect, that's something I can't say that that's what I actually wanted to do per se. I wanted to find a way to give my work life. I wanted to find new ways for persons to interact with it. I wanted to find ways to show movement in the pieces. So there's some of the artworks there where you'll see like the main motif just kind of painted over and over again to give that concept of movement. And it was really through just doing a lot of research. I found out about AR tech and just how you can use it into integrate it into different things. And there are actually a lot of AR apps, but then I found Spark AR, which basically allows you to make AR content for Instagram and Facebook. So I thought I would be the best way to I thought I would be the best app to use to integrate with my work because Facebook and Instagram is already mass. There's like billions of people on there, so it just makes sense as opposed to using another app that persons would have to download to view my work. It seemed like a barrier. And yeah, those two things just basically melted perfectly together. It took some time. I mean, naturally, there is a bit of a learning curve with new technology, but everything just kind of worked out great, and even when NFTs came about, it was really just serendipity, perfect timing in the fact that like it started blowing up at the same time that I was planning this art show. And because the work fuses culture and technology and art, which are all values of the NFT space, it really just flowed perfectly into that. Um, and I mean, in terms of the NFT collection itself, like it did take some time to really understand the space again because it's all brand new and it's all evolving so quickly. But yeah, it all just happened in a very organic way that I'm grateful for. So at the core of it, an NFT is, well, it stands for non-fungible token. All right. What that means is that it's an entity that can never be edited in any way, shape, or form. Once it exists, it exists. All right. And it's a way at the core of it, it's a way to show ownership of right now any digital asset. But in the future, with how it's evolving, it's going to be how we show ownership of everything. So just like how you buy a bag, Chanel bag, and you get that receipt, right? In the future, as opposed to getting a receipt, you're gonna get your NFT. It's gonna come as an NFT, as that token. So to prove that you own it. And how I see that technology, the importance of that technology for Jamaican society, I mean, this is where the world is going, you know? So it just makes sense that we be on that wave from early, because when you look at like Barbados, they're really diving into the NFT space. They're opening an embassy in the metaverse, like crazy things like that. So for Caribbean countries, generally, we don't have as much access. We don't have as much resources, to even just get our voices out. This is really the new way to do it You get me? Once you're able to get set up and be in that space, the community, it embraces you. There are certain core values of the NFT space, such as unity, which is really just moving together in one accord. It's all about community. And I think having that type of tech and integrating that type of tech into everyday life can only cause good things. Plus, another great thing about NFTs is that they pay royalties. And what royalties is essentially just like with anybody in music, like once your songs get played, you are paid, right? This is the same tech. So for an artist specifically, because this is how it's starting and it's going to evolve into other um, areas of life. But for an artist specifically, usually when we make art and we sell it, you only make money on that upfront sale. You get me? So if the owner for that person who bought that artwork from you now, if they go to like a Sotheby's or any auction house and they sell that work for 20 million, 30 million, you don't see that money. You will get the recognition because your name is attached to it, but you don't see that money. All right. If you sell it as an NFT, every time it's sold, you get paid. Plus, you make a commission on that upfront sale. So it's a way to really just earn from what you do and be gainfully employed. Yeah. I think the region on a whole is really embracing the space. I think what we offer that's different for the NFT space is diversity. It's the way how we think, our identity, just who we are as a people, even though it's all individual islands, it's unique. All right. And one thing that the space, that NFT community embraces is that authenticity, right? Like you can't fake who you are. Like people will know. You get me? So I think what Caribbeans in the region are doing different in the space is that we're just genuinely being ourselves. We're making works that link to our culture. We're making works that talk about our identity and what it means to make art from this region. And and in doing that, it's highlighting the broader Caribbean region. And because again, it's really brand new, the fact that we're starting to establish our own community in the NFT space is amazing, because what that means is that for future generations coming up, they will already have something to build on. There's already a platform, so there are a number of artists out here already in the space. There's Nicholas Huggins from Trinidad. He does a lot of work with Kess. He just dropped well, a couple collections actually that are just making waves, right? There are Anya and Safia. They're also from Trinidad, but they have their own space, their own project called We Are Wildflower, or just Wildflower, that's exploring like fashion NFTs. So which is really also kind of doing something brand new in the space as well, right? There's a artist from Barbados named Halik Mal. Like currently he is the top earning NFT artist in the entire Caribbean. Like his work gets eyes, it's traction, it's I don't even know the word, but it's just amazing, you know. So yeah, there are a lot of us in the space that's just doing things. And especially like I was saying with like Barbados, what they're doing with their embassy in the metaverse, it's literally showing that we are thought leaders out here. We're doing it different, like an entire country is embracing this type of technology. You get me? So if it works for them, you can imagine how many other countries are going to hop on that wave, right? And especially with the pandemic, like people aren't really interacting face to face. Like even this meeting, it's over Zoom, all right? Which means that going forward, more people are going to be interacting like this, So when you say the metaverse, there are a couple of places that we mean. There's like Decentraland or Sandbox. This is like virtual worlds that people go to hang out and meet up. All right. And these worlds, to show you, like, people are selling land in these spaces, virtual land that's selling for millions of dollars. So for Barbados to see that and say, we're gonna buy a plot of land and we're gonna set up an embassy. So people from all over the world, even if you can't come here, to apply for your visa or whatever, you can go into the metaverse, you can link us, set an appointment, get your own credentials and visit. Like, that is amazing. And I'm just looking forward to everything else that will come from the space. Currently, the biggest issue that I have noticed so far as a Jamaican in the space is really just being able to get set up. All right. Like, being able to buy cryptocurrency, being able to set up your wallet, like all of those things. And it's really just because a lot of our bank cards don't really support purchasing crypto. You can't really load it onto a lot of the crypto marketplaces to buy Ethereum, because for you to purchase an NFT, you need ETH. And to do that, usually what you do is just you get a bank card, you sign up for a trading platform like a cex.io or like a Binance. That's another thing. A lot of the trading platforms, you can't pick them up locally. Like, you might be able to download the app, but then it's restricted. You don't get full access to a lot of them. So there's a lot of hurdles that you have to navigate, but like I was saying before, if you want to purchase, you'd have to be on like one of these platforms. And to be on one of those platforms, you'd have to connect your card, or you'd need like a MetaMask, because that's where you store your crypto once you purchase it. So it's just extremely difficult to get set up. For myself, it took me a couple of months really to actually figure it out. I mean, and then another part to it too is, like, if you have a US bank account, if you have a US card, it's much faster. But then how many people actually can be able to just fly go Miami for a weekend and open a bank account and come back? You get me? Like, it's not that lot locally. So I think once things get to a point where our banks allow you to easily purchase crypto, then I think more persons will be able to adopt it. Currently, the bank card that I know of, I might be wrong, that allows it is NCB Visa Debit. So if anybody wants to get into crypto, that would be the best card for you to use, because um it integrates with the platform as well. But outside of that, it's extremely difficult. There's a lot of loopholes, a lot of hurdles to navigate. And once we start to remove a lot of those hurdles, I think it would be much easier. I have a couple of personal projects that I'm working on for 2022. And it's a lot of it is really just building off of the momentum that I have now and exploring, diving deeper into the AR space, the NFT space. Personally, the plan is to take this show on the road, go on tour with it. So I'm looking at Miami, LA, New York to have art shows. And it's not really just art shows, it's like experiential events. So essentially, the culture, want to package that in my work. So similar to the event that I had locally, where even though it was an art show, it functioned as a dance and this whole new viewing experience. The decor of the space was like this dancehall space, or zinc fence and crates and speaker box and jerk chicken man. Like, that whole experience, I want to take that and then just move it to LA, move it to New York, move it to Miami, still have AR artworks that's still immersive, and just push that and see how far I can take it. There's another thing that really excites me in this space is AR clothing. Yeah, there are a couple of companies right now. There's this one company that made $1.2 million in like a day selling augmented reality sneakers. So it's just like super cool. Actually, I think they did send like the physicals afterwards, but they launched with the AR version. That's just amazing. There's this other thing that I'm really excited about. It's like integrating my art into the metaverse. So if you buy a piece or you buy clothing or whatever, like you can display it in real life and you can display it in the virtual world. If you buy clothing, you can wear it in real life and you can wear it in the virtual world. So I'm really excited about those. I definitely want to be considered as one of the greatest to ever do it, to be very honest with you. Like, especially with how things are going now, like people are literally doing things that have never been done before. My plan is to be amongst that group of people. So to essentially just help to establish a thriving NFT Caribbean community, a thriving Jamaican Caribbean community in the NFT space. Just really show people that like you can really do anything that you want in life. And with these new technologies that are coming out, you can literally do anything that you want, you know? So I think I want to be remembered as an inspiration, somebody that did it different, somebody that's just like you emulate the work that I do. Yeah.